Hello there. Welcome back to JEB and Flow on the Street Parking Podcast channel. I am JEB, and it is good to have you here. So, how are you doing? I imagine that a lot of people are experiencing a little bit of cabin fever, some restlessness, maybe some irritability. And I think that is probably to be expected. And I hope that it is not overwhelming. And I'd like to try today to help with that if that is something that you might be experiencing. I know that I definitely have felt some feelings in that space. And even in my normal life, when everything is kind of happening as it normally happens, I feel that sense of restlessness a lot of times on the weekends. I'm somebody who kind of always needs to have a job or be doing something, even though I'm also somebody that wants to just lounge around and veg out and just pop on some Netflix and watch something while also scroll through my phone, which just helps me double numb out. But all that does is make me even more restless and then frustrated that a bunch of time has gone by and I haven't done anything. I suppose I digress a little bit. But there's a couple of things really I wanted to talk about. And that's definitely one of them. I think that right now is a time where people are going in different directions in terms of how they are using this time. Some folks are getting more time to spend with their families, more time to exercise at home, more time to read or get caught up on stuff. And other people probably are pretty frustrated right now, and totally understandable. I heard recently someone say, and I apologize that I don't remember where I heard it or who said it, but I heard that a crisis is a combination of danger and opportunity. And the danger is very real for some of us. It's not as palpable for some of us, which in itself probably is a little dangerous when it comes to the bigger picture. And no matter what the situation, and I really hope that I can express that I'm not trying to be insensitive in any way, but I do believe that in any situation there is opportunity. And there's an opportunity right now to reflect. There is opportunity right now to remind yourself of what really is important. And to remind yourself of how much stuff out there is not important at all, but perhaps we have built it up to be so in the past, in the recent past. And maybe now we're just realizing that, hey, I guess that's not essential. That's not super important. And that is something that I could live without. And in fact, maybe my life could be better without it. So it's an opportunity to reflect. And in times of chaos, which I love to talk about, And without revisiting all the different definitions of chaos or what that means to me, but just assume or just understand that a time where there's a lot of things that are out of our control. There's a lot of things that are generally out of control. And there's a lot of things always that are out of control. We just seem to either not pay attention to that fact or assume or have faith that things actually are in control, even when they're not. But now it's right up in our face. And there's a lot of things that are out of control. And you have a choice. You could panic or you could relax. Whether you choose to panic or relax, guess what? Things are still out of your control. Is it fun to panic? No. Is it enjoyable to relax? I think so. So what can we do to relax? Playing a bunch of video games, watching a bunch of movies, falling into rabbit holes on YouTube. I do that. I do all of that stuff. I don't play video games, but I do fall into a lot of YouTube rabbit holes and Wikipedia rabbit holes. Those really just distract me. I enjoy a nice distraction from time to time, but I wouldn't say those really help me to relax. So this week, I just would like to encourage you to explore, to try and search out, to try and look for some opportunities to find some stillness, to allow yourself to relax. And while you're doing that, in that time, yes, you will get to a place of stillness and you will get to a feeling of relaxation. But if you can do that consistently, maybe a little bit each day, then there's some residual effect, right? It will carry on throughout the day. Your overall sense of well-being and stillness will be more consistent. Now is a great time to do that. And now is a time where we probably are going to be really challenged when we attempt something like that. But that's what I'm here for. So, what can we do? A very, very simple thing is just to block out some time. I've talked about this before. I'll talk about it again. I think it's especially important right now. Block out 5 minutes. Maybe if you've done this a bunch of times, done it before, you can bump it up to 10 minutes. Maybe you're super type A, you get real easily distracted, start at 3 minutes. But block out a very specific amount of time to sit quietly, zero distractions, zero intentional distractions. Unintentional distractions are actually a nice little bonus challenge. So if you've got kids running around or anything like that, that would be an unintentional distraction. You can use that. But I'm talking about like music, visual stimuli, that sort of thing. Remove all of that. Sit quietly. Sit quietly. And I guarantee you a lot of crazy thoughts will enter your head and they'll come cruising by. And they might try to worm their way deeper into your brain and pull you out of the stillness. Guaranteed. There's a couple of ways that you can prevent that or manage it. The first one is pay attention to your breath. if you sit quietly for 5 minutes and all you do is just watch the breath going in and the breath going out. And if some little distraction takes over, you just gently nudge yourself back towards your breath and keep it going. Another fun tool that I really like to use is I imagine my thoughts as a parade. Like the most ridiculous parade you can think of. You know, the thoughts of when you're trying to go to sleep and then you have the monkey with the cymbals just smashing them back together. Think of 100 of those monkeys just marching by. Every time you get a thought, some weird thought that tries to distract you, it's like one of those little monkeys with the cymbals just smashing them together, trying to take your attention away, trying to pull you towards something that isn't necessarily going to benefit you in any way. And we don't have to get mad about that because most of our thoughts are pretty ridiculous. They really are. In the big picture, in the big scheme of things, they're based in some irrational emotion. So if you imagine these thoughts as these silly little things, just kind of having just a ridiculous parade, clowns on unicycles just cruising across, and you just watch the parade. Just watch it go by. You can even smile and laugh if you want to, because it's funny. It's ridiculous. And most of that stuff doesn't matter at the end of the day. If you practice some stillness, the things that do matter will materialize in front of you. They will come to mind. And those things generally are the simplest things. Taking care of your own health, taking care of the people around you, spending time with your loved ones, telling your loved ones that you love them, showing up for yourself, and showing up for the people that you care about. How that looks could be a lot of different things. So really, that's all I got for you this week. I want you to take 5 to 10 minutes every day and try to sit in the stillness and be comfortable in the stillness and not try to use something to distract you from just being in your body and being in your brain, in your mind, and watching these silly little thoughts parade about in front of you. Practice that stillness, that acceptance of what's happening. Recognize that yes, there are a lot of things that are out of our control. That doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that you can't relax. It doesn't mean that you can't be happy. And it doesn't mean that you can't make other people happy. And it starts with just a little bit of stillness. So try it out. That's all I got for you this week. I love you. I'll talk to you soon.